What's going on, everybody? This is CoreyThornton Productions again. I'm sitting here with Mr. Robert Noel, and I gotta share something with y'all. You know, when we were kids growing up, I know when I was a kid growing up, and every time my mom went to Walmart, we used to always see these little amusement rides that you put the little money in, and you get to ride on the ride before we went into Walmart to go shop. So guess what? Guess who's the man that was behind a lot of those amusement rides that y'all used to pay money for to, you know, get your kids to be entertained before they went into Walmart to go shop? It was Mr. Robert. So how did you go about just getting into that, doing stuff like that?
My phone rang one day, and it was my little brother, and he said, "Hey, you want a job?" I thought, well, I've never really had a job before. I've always been kind of an independent guy.
Yeah.
Taking care of myself. I never really had a job. So what kind of job do you have in mind? He said, well, he's got a fella, my brother had a customer that operated the amusements in front of a bunch of all the Walmarts in Alabama.
Wow.
And he said the two of them had been talking about these Walmarts down here in Florida. You know, the amusement operation in the front door there, and so they had an opportunity to operate these amusements in front of Walmarts in Florida. Was I interested? So, well, at the time I wasn't doing anything else. I guess you might say between jobs. I was just coasting along there. So I drove down to my neighborhood Walmart, which I hardly had ever been in. I used to go across the street to Kmart to buy my motor oil.
Yeah.
You know, and but I went down to Walmart and sat there in that vestibule on that bench here in the front of that store. I sat there for a few minutes, and I said, well, this is a Midway here. This is just a Midway. I grew up on the Midway. I know what to do on the Midway.
Right.
And so we struck up a deal and took over an operation of, I think it was 132 stores, if I remember right at the time.
Wow, 132 stores
in Florida. And anyway, so there we go. We struck up a deal, and fellow in Alabama and I became partners, and he put up the money and made the phone call to get it done, and I did the work to get it done. And we were in the Walmart business.
Wow.
And that first year, that first year, I put over 100,000 miles on my pickup, delivering games and moving equipment from store to store to store. You know, I put a lot of miles on that truck that first year.
You were hustling.
Yeah, and took care of it pretty much by myself out there. I don't mean that we had route people around the state to take care of stores, but as far as delivering product to them, delivering plush toys to them, we operated the cranes too, where you pick up toys and video games and, like you say, the rides and gumballs, you know, the bulk vending. You put a quarter in and turn the crank, get your gumball out.
Yeah.
You know, we were doing all that sort of stuff. And you know, that first year, it was, like I said, it consumed me. And that year too, it rained all summer, and I'm moving equipment around in a pickup truck, trying to keep it dry, and it was fun times. But we did it, and we were very successful out there for a few years, and that's happened when things change, and things change, you become not quite so successful. But we wound up at the end of it, 20 years later, we were operating about 1,000 stores.
1,000 stores.
Pretty much from San Antonio, Texas, to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, down to Homestead, Florida, and everywhere in between. A little bit of stuff outside of that range, but that was the bulk of it.
Wow.
The Southeast. And then at some point there, we got the notion we'd like to probably sell it and cash out of that. We were looking for a buyer, and we ran into this little company from Japan that seemed like they might be interested in it. We talked to them, and after a year or so negotiation, we struck up a deal with a little outfit called Sega.
Sega.
and sold them 51% of the company. Actually, I kept 49%, but so that's how I wound up in that. Was that your question?
That's how you got into it. Wow.
What happened? I was sitting there minding my own business. My phone rang. My brother asked about the job.
Opportunity knocks. You answered. You got into the business. You bust butt over the years. Made good money off of doing it. How many stores you said y'all was covering?
At the end, we're throwing 1,000 stores.
1,000 stores. So, and you had to be on your P's and Q's and just, you know, and I think that work coming from the carnival, that hustle that you was doing over the carnival over the years, prepared you for that hustle, getting into the Walmarts and just running and, you know, doing what you got to do.
Yeah, we knew what to do in there. And it turns out we did. We knew what to do in there. Lucky, being lucky. You know, I've heard luck defined as the event that happens when a prepared mind meets genuine opportunity. And in this case, you know, when I sat in that vestibule of this store here in my neighborhood and looked around and realized, well, this is just a midway here. I know what to do here. These guys have a lot of traffic coming through every day, and there's an opportunity here. So we did have a prepared mind, and we had a genuine opportunity. We jumped on it. That's not always the case. I've had plenty of other opportunities that I missed. That did not have a prepared mind. I've had some big opportunities that I missed. But I've come to realize too that these opportunities come all the time. Just you don't see them sometimes. You don't recognize. You don't have a prepared mind. And but in this case we did. This case we saw what to do. We knew how to do it, and we jumped on it and did it. And we're successful enough that we wound up, like I say, selling a big piece of the company for a nice big fat check.
Wow.
A life-changing check.
Life-changing check.
Yeah. To Sega. And we're up where it is. We changed the name of our company then to Sega Amusement Works.
Okay.
And we operated that way for about 5 years, and then one thing led to another, and it's wound up selling the whole thing. So I'm happy to report that I'm completely out of it now.
That's good.
You know, happy to report that I'm done.
And when you got out of that, you got into the Fun Center. Is something else come before the Fun Center?
Well, the Fun Center came along during the Fun Center came along prior to us selling out to Sega.
Okay.
And you know, the Fun Center was bought as part of our vending company there, operating these Walmarts. But then when we made the deal with Sega, I extracted that Fun Center out.
Okay.
For my family, complicated deal, but we took that out then. But it came along during that Walmart time. And but yeah, Treasure Island Fun Center now is ours. We bought it about, I guess, over 20 years ago now.
Yeah, I used to go there when I was young.
Yeah, I did too.
You did too?
Yeah, we all did, yeah.
Okay, wow.
Treasure Island Fun Center was started in the 60s.
Okay.
And
wow.
So that was 60 years ago.
So when it started in the 60s, was it out in St. Pete Beach still, or was it somewhere else?
Right there at Treasure Island. Yeah, Treasure Island Beach, not St. Pete Beach, Treasure Island.
Okay, and then where did it move from Treasure Island? Wasn't it a game room place that used to be as you go into St. Pete Beach?
There was a game room. That was different.
Oh, that was a different place. Oh, okay. So I'd never even been to the Treasure Island. I went to the other game room.
Yeah, that was another.
Wow. Okay, I thought that was Treasure Island Fun Center back in the day.
Treasure Island Fun Center
was always there at Treasure Island. Okay.
Treasure Island.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna learn that.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
And we moved it about 10, 15 years ago. We moved it over to Seminole, where it is now.
Okay. Where it's bigger, a lot of nice games.
A lot more room. Yeah.
A lot more room.
Right.
Yep. It's a very awesome place to go to have your birthday party, play games. You want to get away and entertain your family. Your kids love it. That's the owner of Treasure Island Fun Center. Him and his family worked hard over the years. Good people. So make sure you go to Treasure Island Fun Center sometimes. They're good people. And, he worked hard. So anybody else, everybody think that work, anything you do is easy. It ain't microwave. It's not a microwavable thing that you do when you start to work. Everything takes time, and you got to keep working and working. And you got to get there on time every day when you're doing what you got to do, because that carries a long way, y'all. Y'all can do it. So if you heard it from him, and you know all the work you did over the years, you can sit back now. You get to do what you want. You get to do whatever you want to do. You good. He's good. Like 2 thumbs up good. So I'm just thankful that we met about 7-8 years ago. Partnership, friendship, familyship has been a huge blessing in my life. It's like I say, I didn't grow up with the father figure, so you came at the right time to just show me different things and expand my vision on going about doing business and just showing me different things, and I really appreciate that. And just to meet your beautiful family and everybody, Jenny, Rob, it's Trish. It was just been a great experience, and I want to continue the partnership and everything, and I just thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep. So everybody listen, when you're out and about, always be good to people, because you never know who may come in your path at certain times. So just try to be good. Be a good person. What do you call me? A goodwill ambassador? That was my name?
Goodwill ambassador.
Goodwill ambassador. So just doing stuff for the youth, keeping it positive, and you're running to different people. This is one of the successful business owners that I ran into, and I'm just thankful for the partnership with them and their family. And I wish the best for everybody. Follow your dreams, keep working hard. You can do it. Take it one day at a time, and always be willing to learn, especially when you're around older people, because they've already been there and done that. They're just trying to help us out through our path to make things a little easier. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace. All right, thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, Corey.